Hello everyone, this is John. I'm back with more Power Teacher Training. We're going to look at the Grade Setup tab. To start setting up your grade book or your grade setup, the first thing you do is select the class. So I've selected Math here, and now I've selected the Grade Setup tab and the Calculations button. Right now it says quarter one. In the future we'll have other quarters here to deal with, but that's where we're at the moment. Uh, Now, when I select quarter one, or in the future, if there's other quarters here, this pane in the bottom is directly related to quarter one. So if I were going to use total points, I would just leave this here, total points. But if I'd like to use weighted categories, I'm going to use category weights, and by selecting the radio button. I now have to add categories, and remember, these are the categories we started over here. So I'm going to add 3 categories to my math grade. The first is going to be assignments, the second is going to be unit assessments, and the third is going to be formative. And I'm going to click OK. Now I must weight these categories. Remember when we set up the formative category that this one is not graded, so I'm going to leave the weight 0 on the formative category. These are going to be just assessment opportunities where I'm judging learning, trying to determine where the students are at and where I need to go next. Assignments, however, are going to be graded, and so they need a weight. I'm going to just arbitrarily put in some numbers here. I think it's important that we all agree on what these numbers should be and how they should be determined. In fact, this may even be determined for us by our district. So at this point, and these are arbitrary, folks, so don't feel like this is the way you have to set your grades. I'm going to set a weight of 60% for assignments and 40% for unit test. Alright, so now you see 60% and 40%. I could drop the lowest grades here if I wanted to. What this category does is it allows me to drop how many of the lowest grades do you want to drop. So I'm going to set that at 0 for right now. In the elementary grade book, we're already doing 55s, so we don't put in any grades lower than a 55, so I don't see any need to drop the lowest grade here, but that may be something that your team or your school decides to do differently. Alright, so at this point I click Save, and now I'm ready to go to my next class, Science. So once again, I'm going to choose Category Weights, and I'm going to add categories. This time I'm going to add the same categories: assignments, formative, and unit assessment. Actually, this time for the purpose of this, I'll add projects as well. I'll click OK. Once again, formative is going to remain 0. My assignments this time are going to be 50%. My projects will be 10%, and my unit assessment will be 40%. Alright, again, those numbers are completely arbitrary. It's more important that personally, I think it's more important that you are in agreement. The other teachers on your team have come to consensus with this, and you're all using the same information, but that's just my opinion. So, alright, you need to continue this process for the rest. Oops, I almost made a mistake there. Okay, if you see this, I want to save these changes, so I'm going to say yes, and that saved the changes, and now it jumps to social studies. Language arts is going to be a question this year because we're going to have to do things differently. I encourage you to talk to your assistant principal, your principal, and or your TIS about how your grade level should set up the weightings in language arts. So please refer to that, refer to those folks when you're trying to do this. All right, thank you very much.